To begin knitting, we first need to cast on. To cast on, we need to make a slip knot about 50 centimeters from the end of the yarn. This is enough for casting on about 35 stitches with this medium yarn using 4.5 millimeter needles, or US number 7. Form a slip knot on the yarn like this by holding the yarn and twisting it counterclockwise. Then grab the yarn coming from the ball. Now insert the needle through the loop, while making sure that the end coming from the ball is behind the needle, and tighten the loop around it by pulling on both yarns, in this way. Now form this shape with your right hand. Insert your index and thumb between the hanging threads, making sure that the yarn coming from the ball is behind your index finger. Grab both yarns with these 3 fingers. Now open your index and thumb. As you hold the needle like this, hold the stitch with your left hand's index finger. We hold the stitch here before the spot where the needle narrows. Otherwise, the stitches will be too tight. We bring the needle point down to the middle of the palm. As we are holding the stitch, we pass the point of the needle under the loop formed around the thumb. Now catch the yarn going around the index finger, the one that is closer, from left to right, and then bring the needle point back and pass it through the loop of the thumb again. Next, we pull out our thumb from the loop. Insert your thumb between the hanging threads. Hold the hanging yarns firmly, using the 3 lower fingers. Make sure the yarn from the ball is behind your index finger. Pull the hanging yarns back and forth a few times with your right hand's index and thumb, like this, to tighten the stitch. Do not tug too hard, since we need the stitches to slide back and forth along the needle. Repeat this process to get the next stitches. Our stitches should be the same distance apart and have the same tension to achieve a uniform look. With your left hand's index finger, hold the last few stitches close to the tip of the needle before it narrows, to make sure all the stitches have the same tension. Make sure that the yarn which wraps around the needle is always coming from the ball. When we cast on, the short tail is used less, but the one coming from the ball is used more. As we cast on, we slide the stitches back gradually to make room for the new stitches. Practice more until you achieve uniform stitches and even tension. These stitches should not be too tight or too loose. We should be able to slide them along the needle easily. To achieve a nicer edge for rib style knitting, we can cast on a needle up to a size larger than the needles we will be using.